morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne. You're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today. Today is May 12th, 2021. And today's featured sign, as I go around my astrology wheel for the first half of May, we have the beautiful air sign of Aquarius. So lots to say. What I'll do today, like I do for new people watching, welcome. I appreciate your presence. And what I do is I read for two sun sign, I call them love connections, because it's all different forms of love, in a relationship, out of a relationship, family, friends, animals, plants, life, our job, self-love, of course. I like to pick I am asking Spirit to help us because it happens right in front of you, and I don't know what it'll be. Spirit needs you to know the specific message for a highlighted connection. So let's pick that for you right away, Aquarius, and then I'll explain further. And so today, May 12th, 2021, all beautiful Aquarius and this beautiful highlighted connection, reasons and messages that'll come through in the highest good. Well, there's another Aquarius. Well, that's interesting. I've done the same sign if it comes up more than once, because there's many relationships out there in compatibility with the same sign. I was married to the same sign as myself, so you know what I mean. Okay, it's right on the cusp. Wow. You know what? I got to go with Pisces. It's ringing really strong, and there's a really good reason for that. So I love that. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so today's highlighted connection is going to be between Aquarius and as the featured sign and beautiful, beautiful Pisces. Now, besides the highlighted, I will read three major categories for this highlighted connection. And then I go on to read the beautiful oracle divinations that I have for every single Aquarius and every one of your connections. If it is not Pisces, there is a message in all of my readings for someone out there. Most of you can resonate on some level, and that's my biggest intention and hope for you. If it doesn't happen this moment, it could happen through the remainder of the first half of the month. I do come back and I read a second half of the month for every single sign again. Four of Wands. I don't usually read those shooters, but that's an incredibly beautiful card to come up for this highlighted connection, which is stability and happiness and happy family and relationships and, security and all those beautiful things that we love to feel, right? And speaking of which, yesterday was the beautiful new moon in Taurus. Now, we have a new moon every month, and I always light my new moon intention candles for you because it's about putting out those intentions in addition to the beautiful energies that help to push them forward in the new moon, and then until the next new moon, it's going to be pretty powerful for you. Sometimes you'll feel it for the first week or two, or sometimes you'll feel it longer than a month. So yesterday's new moon in Taurus, because we're in Taurus season, so once again, happy birthday, all Tauruses that might be watching for your significant other, a special love connection of Aquarius. We have people that come in and like to, I know I do that for people I love, watch their astrology readings sometimes, and messages and tarot. And so today we're on the featured sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, it's your year. I mentioned that. You have Jupiter in your sign. And that only happens every 12 years. And it's one of the most beautiful, benevolent, lucky, fortunate opportunity kind of planets that come in our lives, and they kind of change things up. And what we experience in the year that Jupiter is in our sign will happen for the next 12 years. So there can be so many opportunities. The main thing I would always say is just focus on one or two and just put everything you have into it. Put that determination that you have as a fixed sign, Aquarius, into play, because right now we have I don't know exactly how they'd word it, but it's one of those things where we have 3 and almost 4 fixed signs in the next day or two. It's predominant of fixed signs. So there's a strength, there's a stability, a stubborn kind of energy of this is how it should be, and this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to bring forward, the new moon energy. And for example, you are a fixed sign. You have, your ideas, your ideologies, your opinions and things mean a lot to you, and you really, really stay strong and true to them. We are in the season of Taurus, also a fixed sign. We have Saturn. My goodness, that's a constriction sign, right? That's in the sign of Aquarius for the remainder of this year. Kind of side by side with Jupiter, just the complete opposite, right? That yin and yang of our life, freedom, outward thinking, momentum, trying new things, going extravagance, fun. And then Saturn, constriction, focus, taskmaster. Let's get it done. Let's work hard. Working hard is an essential thing with the taskmaster of Saturn. And when you do, or you take that study that you're learning, or that new language, or that new relationship, and you work hard on it, and it's usually in each sign for about 2.5 years. Saturn will be in the sign of Aquarius till 2023. By the time you're done, it's a beautiful gift you get because you persevered, so that's working in your favor, even though sometimes it's kind of a damper or a party pooper, as it were. So that's a fixed sign. And other planets too. So a lot of fixed energy right now. And so with this new Taurus moon, it's about grounding everything. The ideas, they're fast and furious sometimes, but putting them into a practical sense for ourselves, and planting the seeds, as it were, right? Going in your garden and doing the planting, or going in your mind and doing the planting, and knowing that you can be patient. It takes time, but with great determination and will and drive and desire and trust and belief, it's all going to come out, and your fruits of the labor will be so incredibly magnificent and abundant. And also, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is about love and money and romance and sensual acts. Sensuality is hugely accented right now. So if you're feeling in this love connection that doesn't have to be romantic, just in a special heart center kind of feeling, where you just want to do and you want to give, and you don't expect anything back, and you just want to cement it. You want to make it, last. You want it to be a permanent kind of attachment or work relationship, or once again, relationship in general. And that's beautiful. That is a wonderful culmination, if you will, from mind and body and soul, all together. So that's what's going on. And then Uranus is your ruling planet, and that's just the planet of unpredictability. Like I said, that's just, I didn't say that, but basically, because it is your ruling planet, Aquarius, it's something you've always been very familiar with since you were born, where things can come out of nowhere and surprise us. Sometimes they're amazing and wonderful, and sometimes they knock us off our game in order to get us back on the right track, right? Because if we don't do it, the universe certainly will. And there's going to be a lot of that. And not to mention that Uranus is in the sign of Taurus for the next 4 or 5 years still. So there's a double whammy of this Uranus energy of change, transformation, new, inventive, exploding of ideas and epiphanies and changes. Bottom line, absolute changes. We all go through changes in our life. Some of them, like last year, was totally not expected. Helped a lot of people in a lot of ways, though. It's very ironic to me that some of the things that hurt so deeply and cause great emotion, or things that you grieve about, are the things that make the biggest impact, or the most important changes, I think, in our life. So I think a lot of us are still feeling that, but we're getting out of it. We're getting stronger. We're feeling more, I think, trusting in just the natural course of the way things are going, because things are moving. We can all see that. I also want to say, lastly, it definitely has to do with vacation and being out in nature and doing anything you can to take in the natural rhythms of life, whatever that means to you, and just to become a part of it, and to stop and to be still and to appreciate just how beautiful life is and what it offers us, that is free, to be able to look and see that and appreciate that. And then your highlighted connection is Pisces. So right next to you on the zodiac wheel. So you always kind of naturally feel each other's energy, and Pisces is the 12th sign. And it's the last sign, so it takes in all the energies of all the signs. It's the old soul, the wisdom, of the Pisces. It's the fish, the duality, going with the flow, two different directions, mutable sign, very adaptable, changeable, the chameleon, very, very creative, very, very psychic, very, very sensitive, very giving, very nurturing, selfless kind of energy. That's what's really coming into the forefront, especially since, this is why I love the fact that Spirit wanted me to pick this, and this came up for you today. Even if it's not a person that you're feeling an interesting connection with and a love, attraction to, perhaps, it could be coming with this new moon, because the new moon lasts and that brings in new things. But it's also the fact that tomorrow, the 13th, the planet of Jupiter that's in your sign now, Aquarius, is going to go back into Pisces from tomorrow, the 13th of May, through the 28th of July, giving a little taste of what's happening for them next year as it goes into their sign, starting on, I believe, December 28th of this year, the latter part of this year. So, I mean, that's all about healing. It's definitely about love. It's being in tune with our emotions, being more vulnerable, as an air sign, whether you're Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, and there's a huge amount of Gemini energy coming in. So we'll talk more about that in the next day and as it comes up. But lots of Gemini energy, very compatible with you, right, Aquarius? Mind, information, you are all about sharing and the wealth of information that you can bring to people, just giving them knowledge. You're known as the water barrier, but the water is really just sharing this information to all that will hear in a global sense, so everybody is given the opportunity to learn and expand and grow, excuse me, fairness, justice, hugely important to you. You care about everybody. You want everybody to be treated in a fair way, and you will do what you can to make that happen. You are very instrumental a lot of times in leading groups and organizations and nonprofits, and it's not all about money with you. It's about bettering the lifestyle, once again, the earth, how we see, how we feel, what makes us secure and stable, and the things you can feel and touch materialistically that matter. So anyway, this is a beautiful connection. And we have, Jupiter was the historically ruled planet for Pisces. So when Jupiter goes into Pisces, it's very, very comfortable there. And more modernly, it's Neptune. So we've had Neptune, the planet of the just kind of mystery and the god of the underworld, and, definitely fantasy, illusion, deception at times. Things aren't really as they seem. Well, when Pisces is in that, it's a double whammy, because there's so much of that kind of spirit and mind and body, a little bit of both at all times with the Pisces, always kind of in that other realm, if you will, and able to really perceive the trends, the currents, the feelings, and just really having the pulse in the world, and knowing things, and not even really knowing why, just because you've been there before and you'll be there again. And there's, life is eternal. So I like it a lot. This is beautiful. I want to read to you the 3 major category messages for this connected, highlighted connection for today. And I did want to say, as I mentioned before, if you're not with the Pisces, it's just that you're really feeling this incredible energy with Jupiter going into Pisces, and that's going to be like close to 3 months. If you happen to have any water sign in your chart, but particularly Pisces, and more predominantly if it's around 2 degrees, you're going to feel this a lot, and it's going to be really, really beautiful feeling. It's that dreamy kind of, this is the way life could be, should be, right? The way I choose to have it. And, and just really embracing it for as long as it can be that way. Allowing it to be that way, imagining and creating that for yourself. So the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading. And this is, like I said, the first half of the month readings for all signs. Today, your beautiful Aquarius is the featured. So let us see what Spirit has in mind for you, and what information can be brought to add to your day and your week and your month ahead. Woo, you have the Lovers. So, I mean, that's a major arcana, and it speaks for itself. It is an absolute beautiful, sensual, romantic, creative, loving, perfect selection message. So the two of you are really feeling good in some regards, having to do with partnership. Doesn't have to be romantic, like I said. This card represents the sign of Gemini. I just said we have a whole lot of Gemini stuff happening. So we had, we had Venus, the planet of love and beauty and magic and money and, you know, just aesthetically things feel good. You feel better. You're working on your mind, your body. You want to, you know, work out more, start that new regiment. You know, it just feels magical, you know, when Venus is in the picture, the Venetian feminine aspect of all of us. Senses, as I said, you know, good food, wine, parties, you know, just fun, like we need in our lives. Well, Gemini is, Venus went into Gemini on the 8th. So that was just last Saturday. And then we have, Mercury's in Gemini, and then it's going to retrograde. And we're starting the shadow period as of like Friday. I'm already feeling it. My tongue is starting to get really tied. It will affect communication, transportation, moving parts. Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, so it's the mind, and it's, you know, expansion and movement and talking and information and sharing and connecting and all that type of thing that Gemini loves to do so well. So then we finish with the fact that next month, well, we have we're starting our eclipse series. And the first one will be in Sagittarius on the 26th. That'll be the full lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. That is incredible energy for you, Aquarius, and Pisces, and all of us, because it's about higher learning and education and travel, long distance, you know, just optimism. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. There's a lot of positivity here. We need to focus and look at the positive things. That's one information message that keeps coming through over and over again. It's always a good thing to practice at all times, but particularly now with this influence and the strength of the eclipses that bring things in and take things out, change our lives instantly. Once again, with all the other influences, I see so many changes for people. Some obviously known and you're planning and you want, and some not so much, and things that are just going to change for the better. I mean, it's going to be miraculous, and that's exciting. We want to slow it down a little bit with Mercury and, you know, retrograde. So that's the 29th. We'll talk more about that. A lot of influence for everybody with this Gemini, but definitely for you too. And it's a good influence. And it's the duality, you know, it's seeing things on different levels and not being as fixed, opening your mind and your soul and your heart to the relationships and to the ways that you do talk or you perceive things, because Pisces is all about perception too, you know. And the card that represents Pisces, one of the two, is of course the Hangman. So you're looking in a spiritual way at things, you know, it's a happy position. He's hanging, but he's got this glow and this information of love and spirit right there guiding us at all times and seeing life in a different perspective, which, you know, in a heartbeat, you see something differently, you're going to feel differently about it, right? So I love that. That's a beautiful start with the beautiful lovers. Very, very important and very synchronistic with the energies that are being brought to us. Second category is possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Page of Wands. So there's that fiery energy. That's the Sagittarius. Pages always are kind of new. They're the new information. They're the youthful, the kind of the green aspect of things that might be coming into life. Something brand new, something you're working towards, building upon. The fiery energy that is there for you. The motivation, the spirit, you know, the action is what the fire elements always represent. Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And so something about this love connection or this relationship partnership is wanting to start something new, maybe a new level of your relationship, maybe a commitment, maybe a child when it's the Page, because it does have to do with children. Maybe you're expecting one, congratulations. And maybe you're talking about having them in a year or so and making the plans and preparations. You're fired up, you're passionate, and there's intimate, beautiful energies for that with this romantic aspects of the Venus shining through in so many ways. So I like that. I would say that's a blessing. The only obstacle I would say is maybe being impatient, and maybe just making sure that you recognize when you're talking and you're expressing yourself, especially with the retrograde, there may be miscommunications, and you want to make sure that you're being perceived and understood, and that you're hearing things in the proper way. So you don't lose your temper, or you don't get overly anxious about anything, okay? That's always important. And then the final category is that of finances, which is so important for all of us. It is an energy, and it is about our wealth. So yes, it does have to do with good old-fashioned money and what's happening in that regard, but it certainly can be our wealth in many other areas, you know, and the money to take care of our health and to start that new regimen I told you about, to be very aware of what you're taking into your body with this earth element that's still happening until on the 20th, next Thursday, which then enters into Gemini. So see, there's a new season of Gemini. It's a lot of Gemini. It's a lot of communication and networking and getting out, because we haven't been able to do that, or we were cut back or cut off. And even if the retrograde's happening, you're still making sure you're checking things over and really working towards, when it goes forward, you'll hit the ground running. In any regard, could be a new YouTube channel you want to start. Could be anything technology-wise, which is huge with Uranus, which is, you know, the ruling planet of Aquarius, like I said. And there you go, Aquarius. So I don't know, you may be learning all sorts of new things that are going to really bring in more money, more, you know, prestige, certainly more education. That's a huge one. It's going to be a long time, too, with a lot of air elements for the next 20 years and longer, predominantly. So your particular message for this beautiful connection of Aquarius and Pisces is, okay, the Five of Swords. So this has to do with you. This is the air element. This is you, Aquarius. This is about conversations that you had to have. They were not necessarily easy. That's part of life, you know, when it comes to your money, your finances, things that matter to you and the stability of your life, your family, yourself, you know, your independence, your own business, you know, you're an entrepreneurial. You got to get it straight. You are all about direct and cutting out any kind of nonsense that isn't really making any sense, or people that are saying things you just know aren't true inside. You have that Pisces, you know, intuitive energy that's going to be very heightened. It'll be very, very, very heightened. And you can definitely but make a point of writing down dreams and information that comes through in that regard. It'll be very strong for you during the Pisces, you know, Jupiter. It'll expand everything in your gifts. This is about recognizing what battles to choose, and know that things are not always as they seem, and that you don't have to accept something if it doesn't feel right to you. You know, letting go of the conversations and the people that disturb you or upset your well-being in any way, okay? And sticking with the people you know that you can trust and feel good about. People that lead you to the right channels, you know, asking for the right mentors, teachers, you know, counselors that can help you with your finances or your investments and things of that nature come to mind. Proper selection from the beginning, the first one. This is about everything. It's about who you're choosing in all aspects of your life. And it looks like it's a beautiful connection that you're going to be brought together with. So yeah, just knowing you're in your power, Aquarius. You have it. You want to make sure that you don't, you know, take advantage or go crazy. Stay, you know, centered, and turn your back on things and people that aren't important or do not do the best for your highest good anymore, okay? Particularly with your well-being and your stability. 5 is a changing number. It's a challenging number at times. We need those challenges to motivate us forward. And it is a 5-month. So, you know, it can be incredibly fun and exciting, and it'll be changing. It'll be changing for sure, with so many beautiful aspects in astrology. So I'm going to finish with your runes, which I love because it just kind of culminates the reading for you. And so I put it on the second category, the possible blessings or obstacles. And today you have the rune, which I don't think I've ever, maybe once so far. It looks like a C, but I don't know the exact, let me look on the back to see the position it needs to be in. Oh, it's actually not a C. It is number 2, Uranus. So you put it just like so. It's a beautiful amethyst that wards away, toxic energy. It's a healing energy. And by the way, with this Pisces, Jupiter, energy coming for all of us for close to 3 months, it's about healing. It's about taking care of every aspect of your life that needs healing and really focusing on that so that it's gone, and whatever needed attending to or mending or healing will miraculously happen. But you have to assert yourself and want that and focus on that. So I'm going to put that on the second category, like I said, possible blessings or obstacles. Number 2 is pretty self-explanatory. It's partnership. It's in all forms, right? Working together, and that's huge for the Aquarian energy. And it's not usually just 2, it's bigger and more massive, but you do need to focus on that balance between your work and your home life, your romance and your work life and so forth, because that always needs that touch, that attendance, and it could be really worth your while to just put even a little extra time in that, I'm feeling. So the words associated with this beautiful rune, Uranus, is, well, first of all, it's the time frame between July 14th and July 29th. So it's between Cancer and Leo. So it's got that watery, beautiful, loving, compassionate, sensitive energy with that fiery, motivated combination, of will and desire and dreams and love. Love is that conquering, powerful energy that can just do anything and everything we need it to do. It's strong and it's true and it's eternal. The unconditional love, it's what makes the world go round, truly. The response in words to this rune are freedom, power, frenzy, passion, conquest, progress, courage. Risk of failure for those who exaggerate. Want to be careful about that. That's always an important thing, and that would be in how we're expressing things perhaps, or, just maybe saying things that we don't necessarily can fulfill, making sure we don't make empty promises of what I would gather from that. But this is phenomenal energy for you. I love what it's saying. So I'm thinking by, July, at the end of this retrograde, fully out of, and the eclipses, there's going to just be this dynamic, incredible change that I'm speaking of. And I hope you'll let me know. I'm very nosy about that. I'd love to interact with you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please push the subscribe button and the like. Maybe push the notification bell and let you know when I upload, because I'm actually leaving in like 5 minutes to go to my job. I'm a massage therapist of 20 years this year, so that's coming back. But when you do subscribe, it's very supportive. I love it. I appreciate it. YouTube really likes it. They want to see as many people interested in my channel so I can continue to bring content. But I also like you to leave comments, and I will definitely respond to every comment, I promise. So yeah, let's just read this beautiful Wisdom of the Hidden Realm Oracle for every single Aquarius and every one of your relationships. And you have a lot. You're a very social, kind, caring, giving, generous soul. And your beautiful card that came out is the Swan Queen. Transformation, intuition, and patience. I mean, exactly what we were talking about. We talked about transformation. Intuition is that beautiful, beautiful energy that we'll all be able to feel from the Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces, starting tomorrow. And then patience, that's Taurus energy right now. That's allowing us to be grounded and stable and, fixed in our desires, but just believe it and allow it to happen naturally and organically, like nature, like the earth, like Mother Gaia has provided for us here. And how we live here and do what we do is still unbelievable to me. I don't even know how to describe it to you. Think about it. It's insane. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's something we need to really focus on, I think, a lot of times. Just recognizing what we really are a part of and what we add to. We all are an integral part of it, right? Let me read you the message specifically. It's number 13. There's that 1 plus 3. Remember the 4 of Wands fell out. That's the 4 for the stability. That is what is being brought by this new moon. It's allowing you to make that happen. Dig those those heels in and say, yes, this is what I feel good about. This is what's going to improve and expand my life in all the right ways, and other people that I'm in contact with, because the more you do and the more that it allows other people to be a part of it, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It can only help it grow, you know. So you have, once again, the 13. It's very, very beautifully synchronistic. And what it says is, whoops, it's like right in the middle. Okay, just there. The Swan Queen glides your way and asks that you look at your reflection in the events of your life. She gives you the ability to see the beauty that has transformed your life from ignorance to wisdom. The Swan Queen lets you know that it's time to go within. There's that Pisces energy and the Earth energy, and seek the answers in your own intuition. It's the Pisces energy. Don't look outside yourself for answers and confusion and, you know, controversial things being said. Because the true power lies reflected in the still waters within you. Isn't that gorgeous? I love these beautiful oracle divinations. They add great insight for me, wisdom, and just that upliftment that I think we all need. I know I do, and I love doing this channel for that reason. If I do nothing else, I want you to feel inspired, you know, and joyful, and not to lose sight of that feeling, you know, that childlike part of us that loves to laugh and have friends and just share things and just enjoy life. It can be pretty serious at times, and it's time to kind of really just imagine it being something else, seeing it from a different perspective. The next beautiful oracle that I picked for now, and I picked new ones for the beginning and the mid-month, so they'll be changing for mid-month, the Motivation Manifesto. And this is by Brendan Burchard. I'm using the Art Nouveau Tarot with all the beautiful gold in each card somewhere. And that was a beautiful Christmas gift from my sons that I really appreciate and use a lot. I love the information it brings me, the feelings it brings me. Your special message is wisdom is knowing who to be and what to do in any given situation. Virtue is acting on that wisdom. Ooh, I like that. And that's from sitting, right? And being still and just, you know, taking in your intuition and knowing in your gut, your higher power working with you always. That's wisdom, right? That's beautiful. That's just for you, Aquarius, and all your relationships. And last but not least, the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, which is about feeling that life you want into existence. I mean, it's great to think because, you know, we're an air sign. I'm an air sign too. You're an air sign. Mind first, you know, thoughts, strategy, logic. When it comes to Pisces season, you can kind of throw the logic out the window a little bit and just fantasize and imagine, and just, it takes on a whole different thing, a whole different feel, but it feels so free, you know, and it really opens your mind to great creativity and imagination. So that's what this is about, just bringing that good feeling life that you want into reality. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. You have it. We all have it so much. But when you appreciate and you're grateful for things, watch it double, watch it triple, watch it quadruple, watch it just like 10 times. Well, I love that. I love this reading, and they've been like this because it's time, and we deserve that, right? So thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you feel good about this. Let me know, like I said, thumbs up, whatever you need to do would be wonderful, or want to do. And come back for the mid-month readings because they're just around the corner again. So thank you. Enjoy this time, okay? And write down those intentions. The new moon was just yesterday. It's still powerful. You can do it. Any day will be as effective for the next 2 weeks and onward. So until next time, thank you, and bye for now.